So hello and welcome to the Dharma.life podcast. I'm your host, Aloise.life, and this week I want to invite you to my Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge. I'm going to be running a 4-day challenge in my Facebook group. The link is in the section under the YouTube video. Please come and join us. Now is an incredible time on the planet to be building a 5D life in alignment with your soul. And it's much easier to do that with like-minded, conscious community around you. So please come and join the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge. You won't regret it. It's a high vibrational community of people changing the world, doing their Dharma, making a difference, and living in this new 5D energy. You will be absolutely blown away with the life that you can create. If you can believe it, you can create it. Believing is seeing.
So welcome everyone to this masterclass and 5D activation. I've just been so blown away with the energy of this group and really the breakthroughs and the realizations. And, we've had a couple of days together. And I really think that, there's such an appetite for this work at the moment. I truly believe there's a great awakening happening on this planet. We are transcending and ascending, and as such people are really reclaiming their power. And tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through a 5D meditation and activation. For those of you that were on the challenge at the beginning of the week, we did a kind of miniature version of that. This time I'm going to take you into your future, and you're going to have a look around. You're going to look in a year's time from here, and you're going to look in 5 years from here. And we're going to get you really connected to what it is you want to create. Hopefully this week you have, whether you've woken up to it or you've reconnected to the fact that you are a powerful human creator. I've demonstrated with some of my stories, really some experiences from my own life where I've literally managed to pull in things that I really wanted to create. And this academy is one of them. This community is one of them. When I was in the deepest, darkest, depressed, wanting to take my own life state, if I'd have had people like you around me to support me, love me, encourage me, I know it wouldn't have got that dark. And that really is one of the motivators and drivers for me in creating a community like this. So, welcome back. Good to see you all moving out of your comfort zones, because obviously even coming on this call, if you've never used Zoom before, I'm so impressed so many of you have got your cameras on. Because all of that stuff is new if you don't do it. And what we do in our community is we just sort of edge your comfort zone so you don't really feel it. You're doing lots of little things on a daily basis. And in a year's time, you're like, wow, what happened to my life? It's different. And all the things that we do in the academy where we've done the wheels, because I really want you to get awareness about where you are and what needs to change, because awareness and wisdom is power. So all the stuff we've been doing this week is intentional and purposeful. So we're going to start with the meditation and activation. I think probably got that's everybody now. So we had 89 people, which is amazing. So I'd like you to all get comfortable. Okay, so I would like you to sit up in your chair. The reason we sit with our spine straight is it helps the energy flow. And obviously, those of you who've talked about Kundalini awakenings. So make sure, you don't have to sit ridiculously upright, but make sure you're comfortable, but your spine is straight. Ideally, your feet are flat on the floor, because we want to be grounded. We want to be connected to the earth. We are literally power circuits. We need to be earth. We need to be grounded. And then just get comfortable and shut your eyes. And I am going to walk you through and take you through this beautiful activation. Okay, so remember, we're going to do the conscious breathing. So I'll just give you a little reminder before we start. The conscious breathing is where you breathe up from your coccyx. Imagine the breath is coming up over the back of your head and then down in front of your heart. So it looks like a shepherd's crook. So keep breathing up and then down over the top of your head. And I want you to keep doing this breathing, beautiful deep breathing through the meditation while I talk you through. So this is connecting energy and spirit. I've got goosebumps just from doing it a couple of times myself. So keep breathing up from your coccyx and down over the top of your head. Up from your coccyx and down over the top of your head. Fantastic. So I want you to visualize now, please, roots of the trees coming out through the bottom of your feet. Imagine yourself being pulled down, being anchored. See the roots go deeper and deeper into the ground. And with it, you feel safe, you feel secure, and you feel grounded. So now I would like you to send your awareness to the top of your head, to your 7th chakra. Now your crown chakra sits a foot above the top of your head. So I would like you to send your awareness to the crown chakra and imagine your crown chakra opening. Just imagine your crown chakra opening up now. Keep breathing, beautiful, big, conscious breaths. Feel that energy now start to flow into your energy system. High vibrational, crystalline energy, wow, is flooding into your energy system. So now visualize the energy coming in through your 3rd eye. It's washing away any calcification in your pineal gland. It's going into your throat chakra. It's opening your throat chakra. It's helping you speak your truth. It's coming down into your heart chakra. It's opening your green anahata heart chakra, opening you up to unconditional love. Keep breathing up from your coccyx, down over the top of your head. And now we're coming into your solar plexus. The energy is now coming into your solar plexus, your personal power. Really feel it charging you up. You're taking back your power. You're understanding how you are a powerful human creator. See the energy balancing your solar plexus. Now it's flooding into your sacral chakra. This is your sexual and creativity center. Your orange sacral chakra is getting polished up, it's getting more vibrant. And finally, we are coming into your root chakra. This is all about your sense of stability, how you feel about connection and safety. So imagine the energy coming into your root chakra, cleansing your root chakra. Fantastic. So we've now opened our crown chakra. We've grounded ourselves. So I'd like you to just call in anything that may be troubling you, anything that may be bothering you. We're going to accept what we can't accept around any of our situations at the moment, anything that's troubling us. Feel your energy being called in, called back to you, allowing you to get into this flow state. Keep breathing in through your coccyx, down over the top of your head. Father in heaven, blessed Mother Earth, and all the angels in between, we ask you to support us and guide us on a daily basis. Creator of all beings, divine temples, our own personal teams of guides, teachers, and angels, we ask you to come in and support us now. We know who we are in truth, we know what we are in truth, and we know how we serve. So just keep breathing. So So we're going to open our 22nd chakra now. Our 22nd chakra sits way up in the cosmos. So just imagine even more energy flooding into your energy system now. It's coming down into your crown, into your third eye, into your throat, down into your heart, down into your solar plexus, your sacral, and down into your root. So I'm going to activate and connect your etheric body. We're going to activate and connect your emotional body. We're going to activate and connect your mental body, your astral body, your celestial body, your causal body. And just really feel the difference that that makes. Keep breathing in through your coccyx, down over the top of your head. So now we're going to integrate our higher selves. So I'd like you to visualize a staircase to heaven. And I'd like you to see your spirit start to climb this staircase. We're going to be moving up from your body in the third dimension, up into the fourth dimension, to the fifth, to the sixth, to the seventh, to the eighth, to the ninth, to the 10th, to the 11th. Feel your vibration get lighter and lighter, to the 12th. And in front of you on the 12th dimension, you see a doorway. I'd like your spirit to go through that doorway. And as before, I'd like you to greet your higher self. Go over and give your higher self a really big cuddle. And just know your higher self is you in a future life. You guiding you, there for you, supporting you, just waiting for you to ask for guidance and support. So just take a moment now to see if they have anything they'd like to share with you. And we're going to start to come back down to the door. So now your spirit and your higher self are starting to move back down the stairs. The 11th dimension, the 10th dimension, the 9th, the 8th, the 7th, the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, and just see your spirit and your higher self step into your body. So I'm going to take you now to the new earth. We're going into the future. So when you're ready, you're going to travel your body, up the stairway, up the staircase, from the 3rd dimension, through the 4th dimension, into the 5th dimension. Keep breathing beautiful, long, deep, conscious breaths up from your coccyx, down over the top of your head. Up from your coccyx, down over the top of your head. So as you get to the 5th dimension, you're going to go through the doorway again. And this time, you're coming out into a beautiful garden. It's a beautiful day and the birds are singing. I want you to take a walk through the garden and notice the flowers and notice the trees. As you wander through the garden, be sure to smell the roses. Notice the color of the sky. The sky is clear and bright. Feel the breeze on your face and the fact that you feel so lucky to be alive. Now, in this garden, you have a peaceful meditation spot. So I want you to go and sit comfortably and relax. So as you sit down underneath your tree to meditate, we're going to take you into the future. So what does your life look like? The world has started to change. More and more people have woken up. The Great Awakening has continued. More and more of humanity are connecting to their power. Picture your life a year from now. You have everything you ever desired and your dreams have come true. You are peaceful, you're content, you trust yourself, you trust the universe. Your search for meaning is complete. You feel confident about your future. So what does life look like? What does life feel like? So take a moment to look at your strong, healthy body and be proud. How do you look physically? What is your health like? What are your relationships like? Who do you spend your time with? Who do you call your friends? By now, you have a whole tribe of Dharma Life Academy change makers supporting you on a daily basis. Life has gone to a new level. How are you giving back? How are you doing your Dharma? When we do our Dharma, we're happier, we're healthier, we live longer, and we have a deep sense of unshakable inner peace. So where are you living? Is it a house by the sea, a cabin by a lake? Maybe you're living in a community full of kind, loving people. Do you grow your own food? How are you creating in the world? Maybe you cook, you sew, you paint. So I'd like you to take a long, beautiful look at this incredible life that you have created. All because you stepped into your power. You took your power back. So just take a look now at your year, your life in a year's time, because we're going back on our cushion. So find yourself back on the cushion, back in your meditation spot, and we're going to go 5 years into the future. The new earth is fully in place. There are Tesla towers, med beds. All of the old, outdated, corrupt systems have fallen. Financial freedom for all. Nazara, Gazara, thriving communities all over the world. It's a beautiful, harmonious society. We are an awakened collective living in a peaceful world. Everyone spends time in nature, exercising their free will, following their highest excitement, doing what they love on a daily basis. The collective understand that they are source energy beings of pure unconditional love. They embrace who they are and they're living life in flow. So who are you? Where are you? How does your life look 5 years' time? I can tell you that you're peaceful and content and in love with life, in love with your family, yourself, and the universe. Your search for meaning is complete. You feel lucky and grateful to be alive. So how does your life look 5 years into the future? Take a moment now to look at your strong, healthy body. Again, how is your health? Has much changed? How's your Dharma? How's your business? How's your purpose? How are you giving back? Where do you live? Are you still living in that house by the sea? Do you grow your own food? The world is your oyster. Time for you to design how you want it to look. So take a look around. Be thankful, be grateful. I really want you to remember these details because you're going to do this meditation again. The more we connect to the feeling and the vibration of our futures, the more we call it in. So take a last look around now at this beautiful awakened collective and this beautiful new 5D earth that we are living on. We did it. We ascended. The Great Awakening was one of the most incredible experiences that humanity had ever seen. And our reward was getting to live in this beautiful unity consciousness where we all love and support one another. So a couple more conscious breaths just while you're soaking in the surroundings, up from your coccyx, down over the top of your head. I really want you to feel how you feel. So you're going to walk back to your cushion now. And you're going to sit back on your cushion. And slowly but surely, we're going to come back down from the 5th dimension into the 3rd dimension. So just see yourself. I know you don't want to leave, but just see yourself. Just know that you're going to see that future soon. See yourself coming back through the doorway, through the garden, down the stairs, and start to come back into this 3D reality. So just take a big conscious breath in through your coccyx and out through your mouth. And when you're ready, just give your hands a rub together. And slowly but surely come back to me. So give me a thumbs up. I know, Beverly. I know. I'm sorry. I had to bring you back. Beverly's saying she's crying because you didn't want to leave. Yeah. So I'd just love to know in the comments how you guys felt. You know, I could feel so much energy coming into my system. I could feel so much tingling, so much vibration. I'd love to know what you could see. We are going to 5D Earth. It's happening. So emotional, so passionate, new friends, new animals, a deep sense of connection. I'm still crying. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Don't want to come back. Absolutely. Yes, lots of energy moving. I saw lots of people yawning. That's great because the energy is moving, really light, really joyful. So powerful. Fantastic. We are powerful human creators, guys. Please, you have the meditation, the other meditation that I recorded. I would love for you to do this. Drink some water, please, Reynold. I would love for you to do this on a regular basis. Go back to that place. It's powerful what we're doing here. Not only are we holding that vibration and breaking through into that higher dimension for the rest of humanity, you're also creating your future by doing this. When we discussed this week, we've had an incredible week together. Obviously the 3 days. Actually, I'm going to come on. I'm going to share my screen now because we're going to just talk about a little bit about this masterclass. So today I promised you a little bit more about Dharma. Now, I truly believe that this is why. So I truly believe that everybody has a Dharma, everybody has a purpose. Unfortunately, what's been happening on the earth is we've been so busy paying the bills, living 9 to 5 because of the way the system has been set up. We haven't necessarily had the luxury of really developing and stepping into our spiritual purpose. And one of the things that I love to do is share a lot about the principles of Dharma, because I truly believe it's the key to this 5D life. So tonight, what I'm going to do in this masterclass is I'm going to tell you more about the principles of Dharma and why I think they're so important. And then I'm going to come on and tell you about the academy that I've created so I can support you guys in pulling in that vision. Because that place that you saw is totally within your grasp. Once we reconnect to our power and we realize that our thoughts, our emotions, visualizations, our speech, everything that we are doing is creating our reality, and we connect those things up, that vision that you saw in a year's time is totally doable. And you've seen some of the guys in the community have been sharing their stories, and some of them will share their stories over the next few days, because it's all very well for me to tell you my story. I'd like for you to hear other people's stories who have gone through the academy and what we do. So we are in this great awakening period. Now, the reason I put a sad face is because, unfortunately, only 13% of the planet are actually engaged in what they do on a daily basis. So what that means is they're kind of going through the motions. They're they're getting out of bed and they're going to work, and they're kind of tolerating it because they feel they have to rather than because they want to. When you step into your Dharma, your purpose, what I'm doing now, it's not work for me. I love it. I think somebody said to me in the group, they said, thank you so much, or for something I'd done. And I was like, this to me is why I came. It doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like my raison d'etre. But unfortunately, at the moment, what we've got is we've only got 13% of the planet in alignment with this. So what's happening on our planet. Our world doesn't work very well at the moment. And yes, we are going through this great awakening, but the planet is almost like the collective consciousness of people within it. So why I love to help people do their Dharma is because when we do our Dharma, we are happier, we are healthier, we are literally becoming the person that we're supposed to be. Okay, so we've just come through the challenge. And I want to thank all of you guys for that, because all of you showed up. All of you were incredible. All of you supported each other. So we went through this process. Obviously, at the beginning of the week, we said, what would we be doing if time and money were no option? And a lot of the time we think, we let our heads get in the way. And what I've learned through doing this work is when we align our left brain and our right brain, so our left brain is the analytical side of things, but when we align that with our connection to spirit, our higher mind can bring us things that we never even thought were possible. So you guys connected to what you wanted to be doing if time and money were no option. And I've just taken you into the future, into 5 years. So hopefully you're starting to build a really strong picture of your vision, because I really want you to hold that. It's important. And then we looked at your current situation, where you are now. And the method in my madness with that is that we have to take responsibility. No one's coming to save us. No one's coming to do our lives for us. So the good news is once you take that responsibility back, you've got your power back. And obviously we looked at our current reality when we looked at where we were on the wheel, and we looked at kind of how we're playing safe. And again, we're kind of, not to excuse us, but we are kind of the product of our society. We've been taught to play safe. We discussed it this week. We've been taught to stay quiet. We've been taught not to stand out. And our dream life doesn't exist inside our comfort zone. You are going to have to do things like doing Zoom calls, like things that make you slightly uncomfortable. But the more you keep doing that, it's like flexing a muscle. And when you have a supportive group of people around you to support you, and, I noticed Venus was commenting on Gavin's pictures earlier. That happens a lot in our community. Everyone's like behind each other. And so it enables you to put yourself out there more, because you don't feel so exposed, I suppose, because these people have got your back. So we then looked at our beliefs, our beliefs that we are basically carrying around, and obviously, we really looked at the fact that our beliefs create our reality. But the good news is we can change them, and we kind of highlighted some of the beliefs that we've all got. Again, the other thing that came up this week was you're not alone. It's not just you who feels this way. Everybody's got their stuff. Everybody's got stuff. But if we can work on that stuff together, and I think one of the things I'd love to praise this group for was the fact that everyone was so open, so open, and sharing the trauma and the stuff that they've gone through. And that is how you heal. You have to let it go. You have to work through it. So we also discussed the fact that if everything is energy, we are energy, everything is energy. And really, for us to go into this fifth dimension, we do have to work on shifting and lifting our vibration. And we do that by shedding remember we did the analogy of the water and how like anxiety, depression, trauma, all of that is stuck energy that we need to release. So hopefully you guys are kind of looking at things in a slightly different way now. And obviously we've been talking about the journaling, and we've been talking about other ways that you can let go of this past and process it. Because once you process it, it's gone. So I studied the principles of Dharma with a gentleman called Chris Atwood. He wrote the Passion Test. And when I studied with him, it was like putting on a pair of sunglasses, or more reading glasses. I suddenly saw the life and my life in a different way. And I suddenly could see where I was in alignment with my path and where I was out of alignment with my path. And I was like, if only I'd known this, 10, 15 years ago, or from, when I was a kid, it would have made such a difference to my life. And of course, Dharma itself will just come on. I'm going to come through this. Oops. Dharma itself means right path of action. So very quickly, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a lowdown on it. So the Dharmic texts were the Indian equivalent of the Bible, the Vedas. And they had huge amounts of wisdom within them. And they were passed down to kings and queens and like the upper echelons of society. And, people like you and I, it didn't get to us. But it essentially means the right path of action. Like Dharma in Buddhism means the teachings, but within the Vedic texts, it means the right path of action. And what they talk about is the fact that everybody has a right path of action, and we activate it through following our highest excitement and through doing the things that we're passionate about. And if you think about what we've learned this week about everything's energy and everything's vibration, when you do something you love, you are naturally in a higher state. So what the Dharmic teachings tell us and talk about is actually your passions aren't random. The things that you love have been given to you for a purpose, for a reason. And there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, but everybody's different. And everybody is a piece of the puzzle. And actually this whole unity consciousness that we're going into in this fifth dimension, we can't do it alone. We have to do it together. And each of us has a piece of this puzzle. So the principles of Dharma also teach us how to master our mind and disbelieve our thoughts. So you guys have seen this week how resistance pops up and how your ego tries to keep you small, and how your mind will play tricks on you, and how you'll tell yourself stories that people are better than you and people are further forward than you in your life, and everybody's doing it. It's not just you. It's not, you're not alone. It's every single person. So the principles are powerful, and I'm going to kind of explain 3 of them here to you this evening. So we have to learn to disbelieve our thoughts. The other one that I really, really like, well, actually, Ray got a real breakthrough this week, and it was, well, I think hopefully lots of you got lots of breakthroughs. But we were just chatting online, and often we think we have to have all the pieces of the puzzle. So, you know, we might have an idea that we want to leave our corporate job and step into something different, but we don't know how it's going to happen. And so we generally stay in the fear, we generally stay scared, and we don't move. And I stayed 2 years too long in my corporate job. I hated it. I didn't want to go every day. And my whole system was telling me that don't go. But I was too scared to leave. I had a good job. I had a good title. I had status, you know. And who was I without my job? Who was I without my title? And what the Dharmic teachings tell us is that we are always, always being guided. We are always being guided internally. And actually what they show us how to do is access this internal sat-nav. So you can understand exactly what you need to do and when you need to change direction. And the other thing that I know Ray kind of got this breakthrough with was that your path unveils itself to you when you have the courage to take the action. So you have to then do the first thing before the next thing will appear. So those of you who are old enough to remember the crystal maze, imagine you do one kind of task and then the door opens and you've got to go through into the next task. That's your life. So there's so much wisdom within these texts that I knew I needed to create a program. So I created Do Your Dharma, and this was 3 years ago. And it was a 7-week online program, and I loved teaching it, and it was amazing. And I put my heart and soul into it, and people got great results. And then I created like a mastery community where people stayed with us. There's so much information in that program. But I realized that my Dharma was a community. And actually, when lockdown happened, the epiphany that I got, apart from a second awakening with everything that was happening on the planet, the epiphany that I got is that for the next 4 years, we'll be going through this cycle where we're breaking down to break through. So the old systems are crumbling, and it will be a bit bumpy. You know what's been happening with COVID? We've had these lockdowns, we've had all sorts of things going on. And having a high vibrational community has never been so supportive. So needed. You know, if you have a high vibrational community, you can do anything. And I think it was Beverly that said she went outside of our group and went into a different group, and she could really notice the energy. So I knew that I needed to change this course into an academy and into a year-long program. So that is what I've done. So I want to tell you about that and how that can help you. So hopefully you guys have kind of really understood this week with the people that you've been in the group with, how they lift you and how they send you higher. Who we surround ourselves with is who we become. If you create space in your life to dedicate to building the ideal life you want, it will happen. If you don't have any space or any room in your life for it, the chances are you'll get distracted. You know, we're all busy. We've all got lots of things to do. So what we do in the Dharma Life Academy is we hold that space. We hold the space, we create the community, and we create the learning, or we give you the wisdom. And every month you get a different area that we look at. And of course, what you're doing is incrementally, you're moving, you're shifting, you're growing, you're evolving, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You have your 5D vision and you're taking action towards making it your reality. So the other thing that happened for me in lockdown is I started getting activations. My psychic senses went through the roof. I really understood things on a new level. My energy dowsing and my Akashic record stuff again went crazy. And I thought, I've got to do another program. So I've created this Being 5D program. So essentially, I would love you to come and join our community. And as I said to you, I've made this like a monthly membership community. We do ask you to sign up for a year because you can't change your life overnight. I'm good. I can do a lot in 3 or 4 days. You've seen that. But at the same time, you need consistency, you need love, you need support, you need accountability, you need a community. And so what we do in the Dharma Life Academy is we break it down into sections. So each quarter has a different theme. So when you first come in, we do the Do Your Dharma program, and you're basically connecting to your purpose. You're understanding about who you are and why you came, and you're uncovering your purpose in life. The second quarter, we look at unlocking your abundance. I was looking at people's wheels. Quite a few people were saying that they'd like to improve their financial situation. And as we know, what we believe to be true about our life and about ourselves is what we create. So we really look at your money mindset and how you can master your mind, specifically in the area of money. And then, as I said, I've created this Being 5D program. So we're really looking at how you can activate your mind, your body, and your spirit. We do look at the Akashic records. We look at connecting with your higher self. We basically look at activating your powers. And then the final quarter is all around the vision and living the vision and building the vision. So this could be, where are you now, and what are the next steps that you need to take to build that fashion business, to become a spiritual teacher, to be an artist, to do whatever it is you want to do, but you maybe don't necessarily have quite the courage to do it at the moment. So this is what it looks like. It's a very similar setup to what we did online with the Facebook group. You are part and you're a member of a Facebook group. But you also get access to my website, and there are 11 trainings already in that website for you to access as soon as you would join us. We also obviously do 2 programs within the academy. So what happens is you do weekly training units. So what that means is at your leisure, you log in, you can watch the videos of me talking, and then you'll get one piece of homework, only one. It's not as intense as the challenge, as you can imagine. It's manageable with you, with your friends, with your family. But you do get a piece of homework, because that's all about you integrating what you're learning. You report back in the Facebook group. We give you a PDF document, like a monthly workbook. And of course, we give you a pod. So that's probably one of my favorite things, is the fact that you get a pod of people like your buddy, but I'm going to create pods. So there's maybe 4, 5, 6 of you, ideally in the local area. So the other thing I'm doing this year is I'm going to give you a couple of things. I'm going to give you a Dharma handbook. That's my whole program in a 200-page document. There is the key principles of Dharma that I'm going to give you. And I'm also going to give you like a cheat sheet on how you can stay in flow all the time. And I just recorded a 25-minute, half an hour meditation of what we just did today, where I take you into your future life. I've also just recorded that as well for you guys for the bonus unit. So just to give you an idea what this type of stuff costs, essentially programs from me would cost about 600-700 quid. Obviously you've got the pod system, you've got the monthly trainings, and you've also got this vault of training. So I've been doing trainings for the last 3 years, and every single training I've ever done is in there. I can show you what that looks like. Oh, so yeah, so sorry, just to quickly, very un-British to talk about money, but the value of that would be about £5,000, all of that stuff. Now, I really, really want to serve. I really want to support. Hopefully you guys have got a measure of me over the course of the last week. I do this because I am committed to shifting the consciousness of the planet. I'm also really passionate about helping people, come through and heal. Having come through chronic depression, nervous breakdown myself, drug and alcohol problems, I know what it's like to feel shit and stuck. My motivation for doing this work isn't financial, but at the same time, I also respect myself enough that I have to also charge. But I've done it in such a way that I really make it really, really affordable for people. So you can join us at different levels. You can join us for as little as £49 a month. We do ask you to commit to 12 months because, as I said, you can't change your life in 7 weeks or 4 days. You have to take what we go through in the academy and put it into action. And of course, what happens is you've got your buddies and you've got support to do that. So you can join us there. If you want to do both programs, if you want to do the Being 5D program as well, it's $99 a month. And if you want to do the VIP program, that's $215 a month. Now, you basically, if you do your Dharma, you get a monthly theme. So every single month you are learning something. And we've done things like shadow work, inner child healing. I really kind of tune into the energy of the planet and basically work out what is the most appropriate for the collective. So just a little bit of info about one of the girls that came through our program. She's a beautiful soul. When she came to me, she really didn't understand herself and always felt like they'd actually given her a label. I know she won't mind just sharing this because she's very open about it, but she'd actually been told she was AHD. And Shimoni came into the program and essentially we really got her to understand. We use an energy profiling system, a Chinese medicine energy profiling system. And she got to see what her gifts were. And then she aligned into her gifts. And she's just like a word genius, this girl. And she's incredible at writing copy. But she'd never seen it as a gift before because it came so naturally to her. Anyway, long story short, she's now gone and built a business and flies around the world helping and training other people to do what she does. And she spent the first year with us, year and a half with us. And, she's totally on her path now, which is, for me, is just so beautiful to see. And then, whoops, I've just realized I've still got Cool Kitty in this one. So this is beautiful Harry. Again, I know she won't mind me sharing her story. She's very open about it. When she came to me, she had back problems, anxiety, depression. She's an empath. She didn't know that at the time. She didn't know how to support herself, how to protect herself energetically. And she just blossomed. She was just like this beautiful rose that just opened and is still opening. And she is setting up her own event business. She's very into supporting people, running events. Again, interestingly enough, her family had run events all their life, but she'd never seen that as a career. She'd looked at it as something that came really naturally to her, but she'd never thought about creating a business out of it. And that's what she went on to do. So the key thing I really want to get across to you guys is we all have a gift. Unfortunately, we haven't been told how to access it. We've been taught to look outside of ourselves. We've been taught to, that social status and materialism is the way we judge each other. But we all have a gift and we all have a purpose. And what we do in the Dharma Life Academy is help you tune into your specific gifts. And when you do what comes naturally to you, when you do the things that feel good, you're in a high vibrational state. You are naturally in alignment with your divine blueprint. We also show you how to access your divine blueprint. One of the things I do in the Akashic Records is tap into your Akashic Record, and I can tell you what your divine blueprint is. So the other thing that I think is amazing is I really want to envision and see a world where we teach our kids this stuff. I'm sure you guys have got kids, or you may have been brought up in an environment where you were told you had to do this, you had to become a secretary, you had to become this or a lawyer because this was a good job, and you wanted to be a motorcyclist, I don't know, or a racing car driver. Imagine what happens when we teach our children they're unique, they're gifted, and actually they don't have to be like everybody else. Their job is to uncover and discover themselves. Their job is to go after what it is they truly love. Their job is to become whole and serve and help other people. At some stage in my vision is a Dharma school. I want to take this material and take it into schools because it's life-changing. The principles, when you understand how to access your inner sat-nav, you stay consistently on that 5D timeline. That's definitely something, as you can see, I'm very passionate about. So let's talk about resistance. Obviously, you guys have come up against some resistance this week. Our minds are good at telling us stories. I won't have time, money, etc., etc. we hopefully have realized this week that you have to step out of those things to evolve, to grow. You're ready. You know, you wouldn't have been in this challenge if it wasn't the right time for you. I know a lot of people said, wow, I'm so happy I found you. You know, I was looking for a way to implement this into my life. You know, I was looking, you know, the Great Awakening has been fantastic and people are getting all this gnosis, all this knowledge, but actually where can you facilitate it? Where can you ground it? Where can you make it practical? And how can you make it impact your life? That's what this academy is for. And that is what I'm here to do, to help you hold space for that. So again, it says 8 weeks. It's not 8 weeks of your life. Isn't that funny? You can spell check something till you're blue in the face and then you miss something. I don't watch TV. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Since I uncovered and discovered my purpose, I've got so many better things to do than watch TV. Now, I'm not judging, but once you get lit up with your life, once you are found the thing that you are here to do, that your soul came to do, you will have time because there will be nothing more important. And so you naturally shift, you naturally find the things that you used to do to distract yourself, scrolling through Instagram, watching Netflix, doing all that stuff. You don't need to do it anymore because you're really, really engaged and lit up about life. So somebody mentioned selling designer handbags. So talk about money for a little bit. We tend to spend money on holiday. Before, when we could go on holiday, obviously it's not so easy at the moment, but we used to distract ourselves. I know, you know, I remember my husband used to have a really good job, used to be paid quite a lot of money, and we'd always go on holiday, and it's because he hated his job. And it was like every, you know, 6 months or so, we'd be going away on holiday because he'd wanted to escape from his life and his job. So why not build a life that you're truly in love with so you don't have to run away? Somebody mentioned designer handbags. We don't need designer handbags in the 5D New Earth. I thought that was brilliant. And actually, I want to say a little bit about energy. A lot of us have got stuff. We were like hoard, we collect stuff. You've learned so much about energy this week. That's stuck energy. That's old energy. You know, if you really want to join us and you're not sure how you can, think about the things you don't need anymore and put them on eBay. Not only are you freeing yourself up energetically, you're creating space for new things to come in. Everything is energy. So we need to really, really go up a level. We need to let go of the stuff that's weighing us down. So comfort zone, just a little bit about comfort zone. Oh, everyone probably might have this inner, it won't work for me, I'm different. As you've seen this week, everybody's the same. We all have the same fears. The techniques I work on every single human being. If you have a soul, then you'll be absolutely fine, and all of you do. Technology, well done. Everybody's obviously on Facebook. We just use Facebook and Zoom. My website is very simple. You log in and you put a password in, and that's it. It's too much. I've designed it in such a way. I am notorious for buying courses and not finishing them. It's probably, you know, it's my fire energy. I want to do that, and then I don't complete it. I was determined that this would be successful and have 100% completion rate. So I've designed it in such a way to keep you engaged, but it's not overwhelming. So as I said, every 2 weeks, we would have a community call, and then you'd have a buddy support team where you can obviously chat with each other. So should I do this if I'm having problems? So the only way I would say you shouldn't buy this program is if you're not going to do it. You know, if you're not going to engage, it's not right for you. If you've enjoyed this week, if you've enjoyed the community, if you've really enjoyed, you know, going in the group and you've got a good vibration from it and it's made you feel good about life, then listen to that, because that's essentially what we're going to be doing over the course of the next year. So time to jump in. If you're serious about making changes, we'd love you to do it with us. As I said, it's designed to keep you engaged, and it's got a very high completion rate. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So if you feel like you want to make a change in your life and you've been trying to do it by yourself, oopsie, then we are here to support you. And what I've said is I've recorded that meditation for the long meditation. So it's like 25 minutes where I take you into your 5D self, take you into the future, take you into 1 year, take you into 5 years, but also recorded that as a bonus for you guys for the first 30 people that come and join us. And there's 48 hours basically to get those. So best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You're not too old. You're not anything that you might be telling yourself. I know a few people sort of thought that, that we'd like to sort of tell ourselves that. You're never too old. It's never too late. Now is the time. So the website, if you would like to join us, I would love you to join us. You go to Dharma.life Academy, Dharma.lifeacademy.com. And then you're going to be presented with these options. So Charlie will post the link in the Facebook group and she'll put it in the chat now. And we're going to be doing a question and answer session. If you want to, it's gone. If you want to know any more questions, we're going to be I'll be around. I can answer questions for you. If you want to know more detail, please go and have a look at the site because there's loads of detail on the site. As I said, most people kind of join us at the being 5D level, but we would love you to join us full stop. We are growing a high vibrational new earth community. And I'd be really grateful and really pleased to be able to support you guys. And then finally, I did say that I was going to give a gift. Oops, a few people dropped off. I did say I was going to give a gift to everybody who joined this webinar to say thank you, and I meant that. So the other thing I did today is I recorded the daily grounding meditation. So we've got the long version, which we did on Monday, and then I've got the short version, which I want you to use on a daily basis, basically to connect in with your higher self. So we need to get your email address, though. That's the only thing. So I just need Charlie to, how could we do this, Charlie? If you could put your email, that would be great. If you'd like to receive the meditation, just pop it in the comments and we'll collect the emails. And I'll send you that free meditation. And I just want to say thank you. Obviously, you've still got bits and bobs for the audit to do. So there are still things that you can absolutely do. So I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel energized. I hope that you have enjoyed connecting with your 5D vision. We're going to be back in the group tomorrow night. So I'm going to be interviewing a few of the guys. So I'm going to be interviewing Gavin on Saturday. His journey, his story is all about leaving a corporate job and coming to be a full-time portrait artist. I'm going to be interviewing Trine, who's left a medical nursing labor and delivery job, who is now got her own holistic health business. We've got Kerry, who was a teacher, and now she is an empowerment coach. And we've got the beautiful Frances as well, who went from a very messy divorce. Quite, she'll tell you herself it wasn't the nicest of divorces, and now she is they've got a couple of pay rises within 1 year within her job. She's works with children, and she's just incredible at what she does. So I'll be doing that over the course of the next week. Any questions, come and find me. I just want to say thank you so much for taking this time out this evening. I will see you in the group. The group will continue. The other thing I just want to tell you, and then I'll let you go, is we've still got prizes to give. So your workbook, if you hand in your workbook before Monday at 4 o'clock, we'll put the details of where you send it in the group. You'll be entered into a draw to win prizes. So we've got a 90-minute coaching session with me. We've got a 60-minute coaching session with me. We've got some more journals and a few other bits and bobs which escape me now. But I loved having you all here. Thank you so much. Give me a wave. I just would love to take a picture. Yeah, give us a wave. Woo!
Thank you so much for listening to the Dharma Life podcast. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Please come over and say hello on my Instagram, our Facebook group, and also please let me know what you thought. So if you are listening, please take a screenshot of the podcast that you are listening to. tag me on Instagram and I will reshare your post. And please let me know what it is that you got out of today's episode. Remember, when we do our Dharma, we are happier, healthier, we live longer, and we have a deep sense of unshakable inner peace.